Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? We're back at it. Yeah. Have you noticed? Probably some of you at least. My ad notifications are still not working. I made changes. They did not fix it. So we're just gonna ignore it. Eventually, I'll figure something out, or ignore, or completely just skip streaming bot. But I do like the idea of having that. We'll see if I can figure something else. There is that, which has a automatic message thing. I should probably just activate that, see if we can get a better understanding of what's going on. So let's just do that. We go into this. Can I, by the way, do it? What if I do it this way? 1 second. Customization. That looks like it's active. The vertical layout is fine. I think we're ready. Yeah. As always, I need to double check everything before we get things rolling. Sorry about that. I think you can understand. It's that nagging feeling in the back of your head, like, oh, something is going on. I'm pretty sure. But then again, it doesn't feel like it is. And of course, the bit rate is telling me I'm low. So 1 more second. I'm just going to turn off a few of these ongoing or launched software, so if that can help a bit. It's just below the number. According to my, well, actually, the drop rate, bit rate is high enough on OBS, so I think we're fine. Right. So where are we now in this thing? We're going to continue where we left off with a few modifications. So we're going to recreate a smaller version of the diorama I had in my mind. But this time I'm going to do it in Blender rather than Unreal. So I thought I heard double sound. Why is the music? Where am I? I shouldn't. Oh well. Right, so we are going to recreate because the last time I think we made a too big of a diorama. Which helped, of course, because I got some insights into what worked, things we need to add to the game at some state, at what some at a later stage. That one happened again. And as you can see in my to-do list, which is that side, well, on that side, if you're looking at Twitch or YouTube, or if you're looking at the vertical layouts, it should be below me. I mean, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? So we are going for, actually, when I look at it, there we go. Now it should be proper on that side. So I'm using a template on the vertical side, which helps me kind of align stuff, because you have chat that goes from below up. If you're not familiar with YouTube's vertical layouts when it comes to live streaming, you have chat at the bottom, and then you have at the top, you see my face kind of up in this corner. I believe, according to the layout at least. I haven't actually seen it, which is weird. I probably should have done that. I'm noticing I need to turn off volume, otherwise you will hear my phone going off every now and then. All right, focus. So the goal for today, we are going to create a diorama in Blender first of all. So we're going to make a simple layout with a simple cube. That's where we're going to start. And I want to add door, reception desk, probably some windows just to fill that out. Or we might not. We might just keep it to perhaps mirrors, which is more likely and more important for a gym. We're going to have 5 versions of equipment. And that is kind of where I'm going to go. That's my goal for the day. That's not going to take too long. So I think we can just get started. We're going to jump into it by going to my main scene. We got Blender. It looks fine. Still, oh, I forgot about the layout again. I might have more of those layouts running around. I should be fine for now. I might have to go through that afterwards. Okay. Quite bare bone on the vertical side, but with the chat, it might possibly fill up eventually, and that is good enough for a Blender layout. All right. What we want to do, I'm going to use this cube. I think that's a good start. First of all, let's reset all of these. Go. No, 0.51. Let's set the transform to the center. So usually we are using a 12 meters by 12 meters, so 12 by 12 square as the area of our floor tile. And that kind of works. But I think we want to maybe try a 9 meter. Well, it might be too big. That's kind of the conclusion I got from the previous session. But one step at a time. So for now, let's keep it to 12. A height 12 might be a bit overkill. Let's try 3. Let's grab the faces and flip them. Can I do it this way? That way? I know there's a shortcut, but I might not have backface culling on. There we go. Which is nice. Okay. The one thing, I could probably bring that up. Where did I leave that? Did I leave? Where did I leave? Was it screenshots? Yes. We can do this. Let's open my PureRef. Let's browse to layouts. Let's add this to that file. All right. So in my previous session, I ended up with this amazing sketch. All right. And I got kind of improvements from the team. They kind of like the idea. So we're going to start by recreating what we have right here. I think that could be a good start. So we want to have, I guess, some kind of reception desk. I put it in this corner. But I think we could probably have it in this and then have the entrance. Alternatively, you could have reception desk. All right, either way, for now, let's just add whatever this would be. And let's go for a 9 by 9.6. No, 9 4.5. Let's go with that. We're gonna need another one of these. These are, I need to kind of stop and think of it. Let's go that with, this is the facing me is forward. So that will be a 4.5 and a 9. Let's go with Actually, what we could do this. No, let's go with this part. 3D cursor, vertex, snap. Oh, did I closest? I believe I have. Yeah, that's. Well, I guess center works. All right, I can delete this thing. Let's go for remove that. I'm gonna remove this. Grab this. Yeah, it looks weird. I know that because we need to figure out what to do with the walls. So assume this will be the direction we're facing, right? The goal would then be to probably combine these, to be honest. We got the combined version down there. And even more honestly, let's say, put down what's it called? A camera. Could. How wide? I'm trying to figure out scales. Let's grab these two. Before we start adding weight, not weight, width to the walls, I think we should focus on blocking a few things out. So we need that reception disk. And also, I do need a wall going from here to roughly, I would say, do I want a wall? Maybe more like a class wall? It'd be interesting. Because I assume as a player, you kind of want to see what's going on behind that counter. Now that I think about it, I'm going to have the door right here. And we're going to have a reception desk right here. This was 4.5. Which will mean off my head right now. No, trying to figure out. Why is this so hard? It isn't. That's the thing. It isn't hard. I'm making it tough for myself. Oh, you're not connected. Well, that really matters. You know what? We can do it this way. Oh, that's how it's work. That's how it goes. Let's do it this way then. Okay. I don't have that activated. That's fair. Still. What's going on? Why aren't you connecting? Now you should be connected. There you go. All right. I'd like it being connected across. Right. Okay. Sorry. Let's fix that. And now I'm kind of annoyed that, all right, we're going to fix it. Kind of stalling. I'm running dry. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's add a block that would represent that reception disk we're talking about. So let's do my head right now. All right, the cube. I'm just gonna do a quick Google. See a reception disk dimensions. Some idea. You know what? This is actually kind of nice. Can I grab a screenshot? Rectangle. There we go. 1 second. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. What about this? I think this could be a good start. It's simple. We also has that front rack or shelf. I assume it's a shelf. I'm not sure what it is actually, to be honest. But we could probably make that into a shelf for selling stuff or adding hooks to have equipment, accessories. I think that could be a cool thing. Okay. So it's going to use that. I did close it because the dimensions were gone. I need to get those back. Oh, that's perfect. So let's replace this with this instead. I'm going to put that to the side for now. All right, so what we need, let's see what this could work. The Y is 2.4 meters. X is then, I think it's a 65 millimeters. Wait, what? I'm gonna call it doubts on that one. 650 millimeters. That's what? 6.5 centimeters? I think they're using the wrong values, or I'm missing something. All right, so let's go back to this being 0.65. And the height is 0.75. To move upwards. 0. Grab this, but divide it by 2. Get it to align with the floor. And I guess you know what we should do. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to make it at center. Then we're going to add that back. And where are you? You are right there. There we go. Can I do it that way? I can. Perhaps it shouldn't be. No, I'm not sure I like that. imagine we could have something else in this corner, so we can move it. This location. Also, turn that off. Snap it to this part. Then go back. Point. This is 6.5. All right. That feels more proper, doesn't it? And the idea is then to have something like a vending machine or similar in that corner. So we can go and search for dimensions. That doesn't have dimensions, but this one does. But is it in inches or whatever? Let's see. It is, but it also has the other on the side. Perfect. Can I actually enlarge you? I can't. Okay. So we're going to grab vending machine. Or at least the dimensions. We're going for something like this, which has values, height. Probably have to swap that out. Might not model it myself, or maybe I will. Depends. If we can find something decent online, we might use that. Okay, so we need to move this back to origin. Get a cube. I'm gonna have you at 1. All transforms. Then we need to make this. All right, so y is 1.036. It's way too detailed, but let's go with it. And next will be 0.79. Height is 1.94. And in order to get this easily aligned, we can move pivot point. Yeah, like that. Actually, let's move it to this part. There we go. From the top, zoom down in that area would be the best. Like it would be sticking up, but it doesn't. We could honestly just do this for now. Then let's go with a vertex. Snap. Feels like it's off. Well, it isn't, but it feels like it. And honestly, you know what we should do? Just make it easier to tell that what it is. Isolate this part. How tall would that be? Let's move that up 0.01. Cursor and cube. Roughly something like that. Then for the sake of it, we're going to add quick plane, or sorry, an axis. We're going to pick U. Do that, which does nothing because I need to do this, then that. Yeah, that's good enough, isn't it? Who? Why? Why is there so many mirrors? You're not meant to duplicate. You're meant to do that. There we go. And of course, we need to fix the other one, but we can do it this way, which is you select the one you want to add the changes to, then the source, which is the one we made, and Control L. We can link the object data. And there we go. Are they not standing on the floor? They should be. We add shadows. I need to hide you more permanent. You need to be hidden until I tell you otherwise. There we go. All right, so we have a desk, which we haven't really done all to yet. So we need to do some further updates, which would be similar to what we did. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened. So similar to what we did with the vending machine, we need to uplift these up. We can do 0.15. And I'm also going to do an inset. I think something like that. Why is that in the size? We do 0.03. That's too big. 2. I have up in the top corner here, you have thickness. And so I assume we are looking at a 2 centimeter thickness. You can see here. So we're going to accept that. And select that while then move it down using extrude. Oh, and move the other way. There we go. That does not look what I expected it to. That's way too high, isn't it? All right. Make a change to that. Yep, that's proper. The cube. Oh, they're combined. Of course they are. I mean, anything else would be too simple, wouldn't it? So unclear how, why this thing is. I'm going to go with third of whatever the main desk is, which is 240. So it's 800 centimeter or not. Yeah. No. Perhaps millimeters is correct. No, either way, it needs to be 0.08. My head. I've only started and I'm already feeling tired. Oh, I need to first. There we go. Oh, well, it's been a long day. It's fine. I'm excused. I feel roughly the same for these decimals. So let's do 0.25. And height-wise, it does have a measurement for that. 1.05. Hello, Rodrigo. How you doing? Welcome. Doing great. Awesome. It's a bit tall, doesn't it? Get the feeling that either it is too tall or this one is. Let's go with this. No. Oh, right. I forgot. I need to swap points. What I'm doing, well, so this is part of a development of a game we're making. And in order to get a good understanding of what we want it to look like, I'm creating this small diorama. and it's meant to be eventually it's going to be a gym, something like this. Although I realized last time I looked at these reference images that we are looking at AI stuff, so there's a few quirky stuff going on with these references. So I'm going to be very careful when I pick out details. But this is what we're going for, at least in essence, a diorama with the main essence of what we want to be in the game. So it's going to be weight machines and everything. So eventually I'm going to pass this on to my coder and he will add all the logic to it. So we will have a resource or a management game. That is the main goal. And yeah, we're early on. So as you can tell, we're not really doing anything detailed. I do want to add at least a certain amount of details so we can get a feel for what we're going for. And yeah, that's what I'm up to. We just finished this desk, a reception desk, where we have some vending machines. Now, I'm thinking we should probably want something representing like shoe racks, I guess. Damn, your game is about gym exercise or just a scene. No, it is a proper game. It's not just a scene. Or, well, what I'm working on right now is just a scene, with we'll eventually convert into game master stuff. But yeah, the final product will be a game. That's the main goal. I'm thinking probably should try and figure out what to do with the door, by the way. Should be a sliding door. Or is that too much for a beginner gym? No, it's not. Sounds like pretty much proper for it. I do find that. I never looked for this type of thing. I do find references for a sliding door. References, sliding door? Does that make sense? Well, that looks like sliding doors. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking forward to this. We've talked about this project for quite some time now, in me and my team. And everyone seems to be quite, they like it. Everyone likes it. So we're motivated to get it done. Although real life stuff gets in the way, unfortunately. So it's a slow paced project. But we'll see. I'm not giving up, at least. What are you up to, Rodrigo? Anything fun right now? It's almost the weekend. Personally, I'm looking forward to it. How about this? What is that? What's this dimensions of these things? Let's see. What are these? Oh, no, no, no. We don't want those types of doors. You also have a game project in mind, an investigation game with a 3D horror puzzle with an isometric camera. Cool. That's a really cool idea. I did also start on a horror game, so I do feel the appeal. Sounds like a really cool idea. Yeah. Get to it. It sounds like a fun project. Oh, those are turnstile doors. What else do we have? These are not the type of doors I'm expected to see. Hmm. But none of these make sense. What would you call those doors? Are they called sliding doors? Doors. All right, this makes more sense, I think. They do seem to be quite large. Yeah, right now it's just all about Googling. What are these? This looks like fun reference image. Can I get that? Yeah, this one. How big is it though? Not quite that big. Can I perhaps do this? I'm just going to make it low res, but it's something. It is something. Oh, it's really low res. But it gives me an idea of how big this thing is going to be. All right, so we do have some ads coming in on Twitch side. So while that is happening, I'm just going to take a small break, but it's not there yet. Usually take a break during ads, so it doesn't affect anyone who gets ads. If they want to follow along, they can. How about we make this? Okay, so I think I'm going to have a time enough time to do a quick cube. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to make the game for my girlfriend's birthday. Oh, that's a fun idea. Basically, that would be a game where she would solve puzzle inside the game, and then realize where the end result would be coordinated for a surprise party. That is a really cool idea. And also, I'm realizing this is not meant to be there. There you go. That sounds like a lot of fun. A great birthday present, by if anything else. So if you want, so could you spoil a bit for us? What would be like the end surprise? Have you thought that far? How would you, or maybe you don't want to talk about it openly, but curious. What would be the end, like final thing? I mean, I guess the party itself. If I read stuff 3 times, I do realize what it says. I promise. This takes some time. Making a game for someone else, like as a surprise. Never thought of it that way. I mean, I'm making games for others, sure, but I like the way you're thinking of it right now. I do like that idea. How would you do that for someone else? Interesting. Hmm. Worth giving it some thoughts because I like the idea. No. They're connected to that thing. Why? Can we not have you connected? Thank you. We get to corners where I would say, "Why is Enigma without an answer?" And then, boom, all the friends and family. I love that. That's really creative. I think that could be an amazing person. Hopefully, she's not someone who dislikes surprises. I know there are some individuals out there who, for some reason, I don't really know why, but it's personal. They don't like surprises. Maybe she's the other type. But don't worry about it. I look forward to if you ever get it done, please and let us know what the how the response and what you respond to it. That would be a lot of fun to listen to. Oh, as are gone on Twitch side, we're back to it again. I don't have enough dimensions for this. I need more. Please be gone. All cookies and everything. Can I get something else? Oh, here we go. This one could be a lot better. Let's copy that instead. So have this instead. Move it out so you just have a look at it. And what I'm interested in are these things. The depth, which is 29 centimeters, which we can easily do. I'm looking at the Y. 29. That feels like wider than I expect it to be. Maybe it's not. And height-wise, we're looking at a variety of sizes, apparently. Let's go for the tallest one. 2.97. I mean, I feel like something's off. Or maybe not. What if we grab this, divided by 2? Yeah, that feels a bit tall, doesn't it? To complement the game, there will be a monster that would feed on the problems that she would solve, and the more answers, the more anxious the monster will become. Complement the game, there would be a monster that would feed on the. I need to read that again. Problems that she would solve. Okay, and the more anxious the monster. Okay, so you're kind of flipping the script on the monster, because usually it's the other way around. That's a nice twist. I like that. And with, according to this graph, it will be 4.19. Just to make sure I get it in center, let's add a line. And do I have vertex? I do. What about the, how does this look? Oh, it looks like that. That doesn't feel like it's weighty enough. How about we search for automatic sliding doors instead? Oh, yeah, these are the ones I want. But I don't want to talk just about myself. Tell me about your journey. Okay, sure. I mean, let's keep it short because it's about 15 years long. Started back in 2010. Got into a 3D modeling program at university. Finished 3 years, but I never got anything from it. So I decided to keep at it. And also because I like and love making games. So spend another 2 years just kind of fine polishing and trying to get into a specific schools. Yeah, it's been 15 years. I'm feeling old when you put it like that. Yeah, but I got into a school eventually. So I went to another university called Future Games here in Sweden. It's in Stockholm. Graduated 2019. Got a job, not in games, but games related. It was a VR upstart where we created this training software for VR and medical. So you would train inside VR instead of like real life stuff, but you would have it was meant to be more realistic, right? And eventually that ended. I got a new job here in Gothenburg, where I live now, where I worked for a game studio called MindArc. And they are the makers of a game called Entropia Universe, which is a really old MMO from 2000, I believe 2003. So that's closing in on 22 years old. Worked there as a modeler, and then I got another job for a flight simulator studio. And that's what I'm at right now. So I'm down a lot on the side. Just to keep living, of course, I needed money. So I did a lot of fun stuff from projects professionally. Age is just a number in this case. True. And I met people who has the same number of years of experience that I have, bar like 10 years younger than me. They would be like 25 or something today. It's like, holy shit, how can you be that young and still have that many years of experience? So people started young. Not me, though. I got quite late into it. I think it was when I really got into games. I probably was around. What would it be? It would be 30. I think I was 30 when I got into it really, like, heavily. Before that, it was more like a student thing, just studying. Okay, so we need to pick some of these doors. I like this one. It's a bit more fancy, but I don't really care about that. Oh, by the way, it doesn't have description. Doesn't look like there's dimensions, which is annoying. Perhaps we can improvise. Okay, so what I decided to pick, I'm not sure why they picked Mona Lisa to be in the inside of this, but who cares? So we're going to go for this, I think. We're going to borrow some of the height dimensions for the other project or the other door thing. I'm not too keen on the 2.97 meters tall, but then again, if we kind of follow this, they're referring to the reference idea or my professional career. I guess both could be considered cool in some cases. I think I want to make this thinner. Now it's all about some kind of professional choice, I guess. How about tall would I be? I'm roughly 190. So for a good clearance for me, I guess 210 would be reasonable. We would make it another 40, which would give us 250. So let's go with that, 250. Let's make it 250. Both? Oh, thank you. I mean, I should probably be more happy with my progress than I am. It's kind of one of these feelings. I mean, I am happy. I've done a lot. I do feel that. But it also feels like there's always more things to do. Always ways to progress. And although that is a good feeling, it's motivating in many cases. I also should be careful so I don't get too harsh on myself. I don't want to be too harsh because I have done a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I guess I could call my career cool. I like that. Go with this. Actually, let's go with the other way around and then lower it with 0.4. There we go. I'm going to separate in the middle. I'm actually going to do it twice. We have the sliding doors and the doors that don't slide. That makes sense. It looks like, from what I can tell, we're also going to add a origin to cursor selected, make a plane axis, and there we go. Yeah, absolutely. You know what we could do? We could just do this. I think this works. It should work. There you go. So that is, although not up to date yet, but that is my personal portfolio of projects I've done in the past, my work experience. I could send you a LinkedIn thing, but I feel like this is more proper. Hopefully it works. Can you even click the project? Oh, I didn't notice. Maybe you can't click on a link in YouTube. Oh, you might not be able to. I didn't realize. Can you copy paste it though? Oh, that sucks. Why didn't I realize that? You can't click it? Can I? Oh, you Google it? Oh, thank you. But I'm going to write that down because I need to fix that. I mean, the main point of this entire command, chat command, is to make people, is to give people the option to click it, right? I need to write that down in my really high-tech notebook. Not many people can use these notebooks nowadays, do they? Or am I just projecting my understanding of everyone else? Let's see. Right. And I need to add. Oh, I'm clicking on things. That's not good. What was it? Yeah. There we go. Perfect. So that's saved. Oh, thank you. I spent a lot of time on them, so I'm glad you like them. Oh, right. I don't need that. I've already moved this. Don't need that. Okay. What I need to do now. I mean, this is not a final project, so I'm just going to add estimates. How about we just grab this entire thing? You know, just as a representation, we're going to move it out, grab it. Thin it down. Oh, it's connected with clipping. There we go. And we're going to then connect these two and hold down F while selecting that, and we can go all the way around. Perfect. Yeah, I think that gives a good indication of what we want from these. Usually what you would have in this situation, that we'd have a limit to how far like you can walk into a gym, right? So let's grab these, a subdiv, just to kind of separate these into two chunks. Looking at it from this side, I kind of like it being this way. One thing I like to do, I really like the one that is a dead biome with mountains, like a desert. Ooh, can't remember what that looks like. Oh, that one. The Entropy Universe visual style showcase. Yeah, that is actually something I worked on during my time at MindArc. It was a concept. We wanted to see how we could evolve the look of the game. Because the project next to that with the small, what would you call it again? We called it a modular piece. I can't remember what we called it. The spaceship looking thing. That is actually the main game, what it looks like in real life, like live. That was a fun project. It's an old game, so the look is kind of outdated, but it was fun trying to upgrade it within the limits we had. And of course, the sword. That is a... I have this book from... maybe you can't see it, but I'm going to try. This thing, which is an art book from God of War. It's a really nice book. And if you can find it and you have the money for it, I highly recommend buying it because the artwork in this thing is insane. I just picked something that looked nice. And apparently, as far as I can tell, that sword is not in the game. But I liked what it looked like, and I wanted to make a replica, if I can actually find it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun trying to replicate that sword. And by views, I think that is the most viewed project I have on my sites. Which is mostly highly likely due to me having the search term God of War in it. I think that on the official ArtStation site, I did get believe he was a project lead, commented on the project and thought it looked great. So that felt great. Especially at the time, because I was quite young and still inexperienced at the time. Having someone with that much experience tell me that it looks great felt really good. And let's also do this. I do that? I can't. There you go. All right, so where were I? Right, one of these gates. They usually have gates. Well, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. It means a lot hearing that. You can be proud of your stuff, and I am, but hearing people telling me they like my things, my art it makes my heart feel good. I feel all warm inside, so I really like that. Thank you. And also thank you for the follow. That's really appreciated. Can I find more proper doors? Ooh, I'd like these. All right, let's go with these. I don't like them. Let's zoom in a bit. So we're going to go for these gates. I can show you in a second. So we're going to go for these now. So I feel like we're kind of done with a block out of the entrance. And it feels kind of decent height. Probably should add some kind of... Do I have a mannequin? Unreal mannequin. I usually export that. Do I have it hidden somewhere? Might have it in an old project. Which one? That's the question. No, it's not in that. Documents, perhaps? Where did I hide? I haven't opened that project in months, so I can't remember. Where are you? Do I have a export folder somewhere? Doesn't look like it. All right, I do it in raw. Okay, here we go. This might work. Let's do this. Go with SKM Manny Simple. Let's import that. Can look like a mess, but we can go to this one. Do I need to do something else? I don't think I do. Make that on selectable. Select all these and delete. There we go, perfect. And this looks like a From Software stuff, like the biome, the feeling, really good work review. Thank you. I can't take all full credit though, because it was a big project for everyone at the studio. So partially, I think I've made most of the rocks. I modeled them all. Then you had an amazing texture artist with us and a few other great artists. Oh yeah, the lighting. Yeah, one of my colleagues made a really good job out of the lighting. It's like, do I have the video? I think I do, right? I think there is a video. Or perhaps not. Oh, it doesn't look like it. I think there is a video on YouTube, though, which shows the entire scene with creatures and everything, because there are creatures in the scene, believe it or not. The rocks, yes, it took me forever. I think I spent, it could have been 200 hours, probably, on all rocks together, going back and forth, because it was meant to be like the final art of the game, or the updates, whenever that was meant to be out. So I had to go back and forth trying to figure out what to do with the rocks. If I remember correctly, our art director wanted the feeling of deadliness. That's why we have all of these, quite a lot of sharp rocks. And a few really weird ones sticking out. One of these really weird ones. All right, so we have mannequin. I'll empty a few of these things. Let's clear all groups, UVs. Let's just remove it. I don't need it. And I don't need them. These, can I not remove them? Or is Blender crashing on me? I think it's crashing. That would suck. Oh, thank God. I need to save before I do anything else. I feel that was kind of scary. Let's go to... do I have a good place to store this? Where I'm not in the way of others. Yes, I could have it stored right here. And it will be... let's call it Art Diorama. Call it Art Diorama 01. We know it's the first version. But the process is incredible to see everything flow. What started as a cube became a stone with textures and everything. Yes, that's the fun part, isn't it? It's that kind of where most people love about art. You start with something really simple, and in the end, depending on the number of hours you spend on it, or minutes, I mean, it could be minutes, you get something that looks completely different and nice. I think, personally, I really like that part of the process itself. There you go. Yeah. Ooh, that looks decent. Add you in that spot. Okay, so maybe the desk though is a bit small now that I look at it. Can I? Let's let's make a copy. And twist it 90. I'm gonna. We might be fine. Just as a test, let's do that. I'm imagining this being roughly the height you would have if you were sitting down. Yeah, maybe it's a bit on the small side, but I think we're fine. All right. Right, the gates. Still need those. So how should we do this? How should we do this? It looks simple enough. Let's add a cube. That's probably good enough. I'm imagining it being roughly the size of my hand. Usually you would have a spot where you place your card and that would open the gates. So I'm guessing that is good enough. And I feel that works. How tall should it be though? That's a good question. Considering you're placing your card. So I'm assuming it should be slightly below waist height. Yeah, that's good. I started making games recently, so I'm still in the process. But that is amazing. I'm glad you got into it because this could be a really rewarding professional. Where did you feel like you needed to start? Where was your starting point? Did you go for like Unreal, Godot? Did you go for coding? What are you focusing on? Did I have? Okay, we can't do that. We can't do this though. Empty plain axis. Then we're going to move. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't even need to do that. 1, 2. How about that? You know what? I'm changing my mind. These will be something for later on. For now, let's just add it as is. Let's add back the walls, by the way. And while we're at it, we're also going to. Which one is it? What should name these? Okay, the walls. I was focused on programming. I use Unity, but the problem is that I understand the logic how to do it, but when I try to write the code, I get lost. That is probably the most common thing for anyone starting coding. Myself included. My coding experience isn't great. I have about, let's say, half a year of experience. I think that the best way to attack the problem, at least what worked well for me, was to try and minimize what I was trying to do. Not the final product itself, but divide that idea I had into smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. Eventually, that piece was such a small piece that it was more like write 3 lines of code to do this single thing. And then from there, I just went one step bigger and one step bigger and one step bigger. And just kept on doing that. Eventually, after doing it for like a month and doing 3 or 4 of these steps every day, that's 120 steps in a month. So I would say try and simplify everything. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Don't go for fancy stuff right now. Go for things you can do before things you want to do. Might sound depressing, but in the end, I think that could be a big thing. Wait, let me go get my notebook right now. Please do. Otherwise, I'm going to do some, what do you call it? Some marketing. I do upload stuff on YouTube, so you might want to rewatch and give me some likes. Yeah, go for your notebook. I think that's the best approach. Okay, so let's grab this. Let's kind of separate that. And add one's center. Grab this. How far do I need to go? Probably all the way out, right? Grab this. Snap to this part. Up to this part. Add a plane. And now we get down to that part, the width of this thing. And also realize another thing, which I don't like, but might be the only way to go with it. It's a really problem though. So here's my thing here. This entire space, this space is meant to be your playground, like your play area. And I kind of like it to be unobscured by anything like walls and things like that. So you can place something next to a wall. Because if I push in the wall, even if it's 15 centimeters, then if you want to place something near a wall, it might intersect the wall with the wall, right? So I think what I will do is move this entire thing out. Can I do it this way? I can. You take a look at the video later. Well, if you want to, please. But it is kind of a joke. You don't have to. Absolutely not. Don't want to feel. Don't want you to feel forced. But yeah. Other than that, please ask questions. If I can help, I can help and do my best to answer. It's, like I said, I do have some experience. Do I need to? I haven't moved it. How about Kirsten? Oh, that's not going to work. How wide is it, by the way? Let's select this part. Okay, you know what? I'm just trying to keep the procedural nature of this thing, and I don't need to. There we go. And next, how would I add it back to the center of this thing? I assume these can represent the center in a way. Here we go. With that said and done, let's grab these parts and move it outwards like so. We're going to fix the corners some other time. And also I need these. I forgot about those. There we go. There we go. Snap. Got something in my throat. And fill that one. Fill this one. The question for Blender, I imagine I have a pixel art. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, try that one more time. I have a question for Blender. Imagine I have a pixel art PNG. Could I join several to give the 3D aspect by using 2D things? Okay. So let's try this. See if I understood your question correctly. So imagine this being slightly from front and side at the same time. So if you have, I need white color. You're imagining you're having these planes with figures on it, right? Like that. And you have perhaps a few more of them. And you might want to place them something like this. Imagine a cube in front of it would, for example, a door on the slide. Let's imagine a cube in the front, okay? It would have, for example, a door on the side, a window. Okay, so rather than these planes, what you tell me is, can I ignore, just delete these? I should learn to use Painter a lot better. No, come on. There we go. Okay, so let's try this again. Imagine a cube from the front, I assume. Okay, so a cube from the front with a door and a window. Am I following along so far? 3D cube. Okay. Try it again. So okay, there we go. And the front plane is a door. Okay, so is the, are you imagining the entire side being a door, or are you saying you want a single door or something along the lines of these types with a window? All right. And then you're mentioning you have images. Okay. So yes, this is more than possible with some caveats. And that is you need to understand. Okay, so I need to kind of understand how the images themselves look like. And I'm guessing you have multiple images, like one image having the door and another image having the window. Is that correct? Or is the window and the door on the same image? Yes. So you have at least two images. Okay. So this is very simple to do, to be honest. And the way you need to look at it is this. First of all, your images needs to be squares. Okay. Then this is kind of necessary. It's not an absolute. We will make your life a lot easier. No. Okay. So no at which part? Also on Twitch side, we have ads, but we'll keep going with this conversation. In the meantime, take your time, by the way, writing down. We are in no rush. Sure. I'm trying to understand too, so please try it. Again, yep. All right. We got roughly 40 seconds left of the ads. I'm going to have a look at the model in the meantime. See what the next step would be. And I'm imagining we are going to add something like perhaps a pillar near this wall and a small shoe rack. All right. Okay, so basically we have a cube, 3D. Fair enough. We can go back to the drawing. The front plane would have, for example, the door. And what we have right now, I guess. The side plane would have window. Basically, I want to make a scene in 3D using 2D assets. Right. Yeah. Okay. So what you're explaining is a very common technique in 3D. And when you say using 2D assets, that to me is images such as PNGs, JPEGs, TIFF, whatever you want to call it. There's a number of different file types. Am I okay so far? Am I understanding things correctly so far? Yes, perfect. Okay. So what we can do is quickly. So what I'm imagining you want to do, I'm just going to create a cube. And we're going to add it to the center. We're going to move it up ever so slightly. There we go. So if this is your house, what you would usually do is assign a image to each of these planes. So you would have an image for the door and walls, and then you have an image, all in 2D so far, for the window and walls on this side. Is that all? We're all fine? We're all on the same page so far? Perfect. Right. So the technique you're looking for is called UV mapping. And if you haven't heard of that before, we can go through it. Taking notes, perfect. So we can go through UV mapping fairly quickly. And it works like this. Okay. So in something called in the UV editing window, we have representations of each side of our cube flatten out. And that's called planing or UV mapping. And inside here, you would add your image, right? And so, for example, can I do something really quick? And in Blender, you would do it this way, right? You would add a material. And it's almost crashing on me. I don't know why. We didn't know about this? Well, perfect then. Then we can go through this. So you would select a face in Blender. You would create a material. You can just do that by clicking the new material button or this one, which is kind of duplicate. And you select assign. What that means that this side of our cube now has this material. We can call it material. Let's just actually call it door. And I'm going to quickly, you know what? We could probably just use an image I just grabbed. You know what? I'm going to use this vending machine thing. So we can go then to shading, which is where our material will be stored, and we can do stuff with it. There's a few steps, but we can go through it slowly. And again, this will be on YouTube later on, so you can go back and look at it again if you need to. So I'm going to navigate to a folder where I have a ton of screenshots. And I'm just going to grab, where is it? Do I need to flip it over? I probably need to turn it upside down. That sucks. Can I do something else? And 5, 09, 18. There we go. So I'm just going to pick a random image, right? And I'm going to drag it into my shading editor. So now you can see on the side, I have this image. And this is important why I told you earlier it needs to be squared. I'm going to show you why in a second. I'm going to connect the color to base color. And in our modeling software, you can't tell right now. You need to go to Material Preview. And now we have our texture projected all across this cube. But we're going to fix that in a second. So using this slide, let's imagine that I want to make a microwave or a table. I will make the table assets from the front and side and from inside and from the UV map. Okay, let's try that. I will make the table assets from the front and side and from the UV map. So the UV map grabs your 2D texture, your image, projects it onto a 3D object. So if I go back to UV mapping right now, I need to bring that back, and I'm going to select all of the other sides of this cube. And now you can see they are selected in my... You can also see the image, by the way. So I can move around these... should be able to. Can I not? Should be able to do it. Can I not? Wait, what's going on? Yes, exactly. And this should just rip. Why isn't it ripping? Okay, I'm just going to do it this way now. So if you select one of these sides and you would try to scale it up to match whatever it is you want to have. If I have this side, should probably have... There you go. Now my vending machine is on one side. How would you use it to sign? Does that make sense? I'm trying to do this in a way that isn't too dumb, because it's kind of hard to explain. So imagine this thing is my door. I would then adjust my UV island, as it's called, to match. And it looks like it actually needs to be flipped. And again, it needs to be flipped one more time. I assume there's some questions because this topic tends to be quite difficult the first time you are introduced to it. Then again, it can also be my explanation. Sure, we can go through that again. So what you need is a shader or a material. Put on the like all sides. Okay, so each side has a. Let's actually kind of remove the image. It's kind of in my way. I do that. Where is it? Not render results. Oh, there we go. Like all sides, and manipulate that for my cube. Okay. So each side of my cube has what we call a UV island. You can see it in this UV map right now, hopefully. Right. So this one represents the bottom side. So everything from an image that will be on the inside of this area will be shown on that bottom part. Does that make sense? We can go through the material stuff one more time in a second. All right, perfect. And the way you get a texture, an image into Blender, there's likely more than one way, but the way I recommend is that on the left side, or sorry, right side, in the material panel, you would create a new material. In this case, I just called it door. And you can make multiple numbers of materials and assign different types to it. Okay? But for now, I think that you only need... Okay, I'll probably need to be in this mode. Okay, there we go. You only need one for now. So in shading panel, that's where you can manipulate that material we just created. And that's where you grab a texture from this panel. You can search for it. You can type in its name. You can type in a place on your computer where it should be. And then you grab it and drag it in. And then you grab this part, which is called color, and you add it to something called base color. When you do that, our cube now projects that new image onto itself because we've manipulated its UVs and we've added a texture to our scene. Are we all good so far? I'm sure there's questions, but we can take it one at a time. Yes, all good? Perfect. And to be honest, although you might need some finer details to it, this is all you need, to be honest. JSig X, welcome. What a cube. Yes, it's the cube, the perfect cube. You can't find any better cube than my cube. How you doing, by the way? So, Rodrigo, I would recommend looking up a guy called Blender Guru on YouTube. He usually goes through all of these videos with very beginner-friendly stuff. And I'm 100% sure he has a UV mapping tutorial, a material tutorial, everything for Blender, everything you need. Other than that, I just YouTube or search on YouTube for Blender game asset beginner tutorial. Well, thank you, Jay. Thank you. It's almost 15 years of experience on that site. Oh, you made the donut? Everyone's made the donut. That's where you start. And the donut is a good way. I can also recommend looking at, I think he has a tutorial where you make a chair and tutorial where you make a sofa. And all of these techniques we went through, I believe he goes through them in those videos too. So again, it might not be the exact way you want to make your stuff, but the techniques are roughly the same either way. So I would still recommend looking at it. I don't know how to use Blender coming from 3ds Max. Blender feels wrong. I hear you. I do. I really do. I was a Maya user before my, at that time, boss wanted me to look at Blender since it was an open source. And we were a startup company. So he didn't want to pay for the like really expensive licenses from Autodesk. So I had to spend 2 weeks getting into Blender, and I never looked back. But the first 2 weeks, first 3 weeks, maybe even first months was terrible because moving things in Blender, you don't do it with a gizmo. You use G, and then you just move it. Because now it's attached to your mouse or cursor, and then you can lock in various axes using X, Y, and Z buttons. It's a bit of a thing to get used to, but yeah. You want to show me your donut, but you can't do it here, sad. Yeah, I noticed. I think there's a moderation rule implemented right now where it's forcing links not to be shown. I'm going to look into that. But for now, I'm sorry, you have to kind of deal with it. I think you could do it on Twitch side, but not on YouTube. I didn't know the rule was actually implemented on YouTube. That's why. All right, I'm going to delete this cube now and get back to my stuff. That's a good question. I hope you learned something, by the way, Rodrigo, and that I wasn't too mumbling, because I tend to mumble. I do. All right, so what we're going to do, I want to add some kind of shoe rack. And let's kind of eyeball this one because it's shoe rack. It can't really be that difficult, right? Imagine you can probably get 2-3 shoes on top, right? You had 2 or 3 shelves. But don't worry about it, Rodrigo. It's part of why I'm doing this thing at all is because I like answering these questions. So please, if you have any questions, throw them my way and I can work at the same time. Because I want to give back to a community that's been really amazing for me. So if I can answer questions, that's what I want to do. 3D cursor. Let's see. Let's add back the wireframe, by the way. You know what? Let's add the cursor to this part instead. I'm going to make it slightly larger. We're going to need a wider one, I guess. So I don't want the AI to eventually walk past on the inside. So I need something to block them from doing that. Which makes sense. It would be a wall, I guess. How wide are you again? I don't remember. Oh, I need to be in this. Where are you? I'm going to do this. Make sure everything's selectable. Here we go. I'm going to have this. Yeah, again, I don't want to interrupt the or overlap the player surface more than I need to. Or you know what? Perhaps I should. Okay, let's start with duplicating this. I think the size is decent. And move it. Oh, I didn't update. There we go. So how wide would you again? You were in Y. 2.5 or 4.5? No, sorry, that's not the right one. There we go. 05. Okay, so let's make this in x.3. Let's make it 0.3. That's not even close. How far up should I move this? Imagine this being some kind of brick wall. Kind of extends out. Will I be able to see it though? That's a question. Now it is pushing out onto the play area, which might not be what we want. I've ran out of water, so I'll just going to mute myself and run away to grab some more. Be right back. Right, there we go. So let's, you know what? Let's remove this. Instead, we're going to use the shoe locker, or I want to call it the shoe shelf instead. We could also, no, you know what? This is going to be all the way in. And let's grab the top, duplicate it. Let's separate it. How wide are you, by the way? 4.5, okay. Yes, I'm currently blocking out everything right now. The one thing I did last stream, if we can find that. Maybe I don't have that. Where did I put that? Well, last time I was in Unreal, we went crazy with blocking out everything and throwing all the assets we've made so far. And it became too much. And it doesn't really represent the early stage of our MVP, or the MLP, as my brother calls it, the minimal lovable project. So yeah, right now we kind of want to start blocking things and slowly introduce stuff, get a feel for what this layout will be eventually, or the demo layout, I should say. I think I managed to make a link to the image. I can send it here from don't in this. Can I send? You can try sending it, Rodrigo, if you want to. Otherwise, if you want to, let's see if I can figure this out. I can't share links. That's annoying. Can I do something about that while we're live, or do I have to restart? That will be annoying. No, can't do it right now. I have a Discord. So if you're curious and want to join, where you can ask more questions, and also we have more people there who can help you if you want to. Don't know if I can post it on YouTube. I think I have it in my about page, by the way. I might have it in my about page. Oh, can you click it? I don't think you click the links. Oh, you can. Why can you click this link? Huh. There we go. I need to make some changes. I should probably update this system a bit better. There we go. That should work now. What else? I think that's it. So yeah, so Rodrigo, if you want to post links on my Discord, if you'd like to join the Discord, by the way, and it will be easier to me to help you and others to help you on that part or page server. God dang it. I'm kind of lost right now. What's that? Oh, that's an update. Oh, awesome. Right. Where was I? Didn't I create a duplicate? I didn't. Okay, make sure. Let's combine these. Try it again. There we go. And let's add roughly that many. Separate them. Do an inset. I think that's good enough. Then delete. Let's see, Jay, what's going on? I'm trying to get back into game dev. It's been 2 years. I'm just going around looking for people who want to do a game jam, or I can help them make a game in exchange for being able to use the work as my portfolio. All right. You could try our Discord if you want to. We are not that many people right now, so you might not have that much luck. Other than that, where could we? There's always the pirate software Discord, which is a huge one. Oh, let's see. Peserat 123, welcome. Oh, you're Rodrigo. Well, welcome over to Twitch, Rodrigo. Glad you can join us here. So yeah, Jay, from my personal, I'm in a team right now, which we are full. Otherwise, I would love to welcome you. Well, you can try Discord and see if we have a few people over there. Other than that, the only thing I can think of is Pirate Software. It's a humongous Discord channel, and you might find people over on that side. And it's free to join, so there's no like things you need to do to enter. So yeah. And that also takes us closer to our followers goal. So thank you, Rodrigo. That's amazing. Are we already on Discord? Oh, there we go. I missed you. I need to do a few things. 1 second. Now you should be verified, and you should be able to post things on our channels. And also, Jay, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. It means a lot since I'm still a small Twitcher. And I think that is... How close are we now, by the way? How close did that put us? I can't remember. Are we at 49 out of 50? Yes. So we only need one more, and we've reached a new goal. Awesome. That is motivating. So try imagine that being some kind of seeding. Sometimes you have to use your imagination to make things work. All right. Rodrigo, you're posting a few things. Oh, that looks so cool. And Jay, you're also posting. Awesome. Oh, that's a cool... what would you call that again? That's not caravan wagon, or is it caravan? Is that what it's called? English isn't my first language. And of course, donuts. Awesome. They look great, by the way. What are these... what would you call it? That... Jay, what is that thing with the red outlines called? It looks amazing. I just don't know what to call it. Well, I like that. What's it called? Art caravan? Yeah, exactly. And a mask. It's just a mask. Okay. It looks great. I'd like to see some kind of, what do you call it? Like behind the scenes image. Kind of like some UV, some base color stuff. But rendering, amazing. And of course, what's that? Oh, I can't names right now. There's name. Is it called macro camera lens? When you give that feeling that something is like really small. Is that how you would describe it? These last 4 images are really cool. Yeah, macro. Yeah. Real detailed. Is that a server box? Current setup? Well, your home setup? That's really cool. Oh, that could be a fun challenge, by the way, or a fun event for people, kind of replicating their own setup at home. Okay. Inspiration. That's nice. That's a full-time job, just keep like modeling that thing. But do you have that at home? And the 3D printer, is that a 3D printer? I believe it is. You're geared out. That's really cool. No, not 3D printer? Wait, what is it then? Oh, it's your computer, is it? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I love your desk, by the way. Is that presets? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, you can set at presets? That is something I really want for my desk. Ah, right, mine. I'm using a cheap IKEA. Well, it's not cheap, to be honest. For IKEA, it's not cheap. I think I'm paid 4,500 Swedish kroners, which was roughly 420, 430 euros or dollars, give or take. So it's not necessarily cheap, but it only has up and down. But it's been like working. That's a big thing. It's worked. But I do want the option to just click on something and just move it up. Oh, it's yours 300. Is that Canadians? That's not bad. That's honestly not bad. Because if I'm correct, the Canadian dollar is not worth as much as the American dollar, right? So translated or converted into dollars, what would you have then? 250? 250 in American dollars? That would make it cheaper than my desk, actually. 250-ish? Okay. All right, so it seems I need to save up money. I have so many things I need to buy. It's so insane. The other day, I had to tape my headset because one of the things that kind of pops, I don't know what to call it, but it just pops out and stick into my head. Hurts. And I also need some kind of padding for my walls. I'm not sure if it comes through all that much, but there is some echo, I believe, in my sound. So I do like to have just above my desk at least some paddings for it. And the video I made a while ago when 5.1 came out. Sorry, was there a video? Did I miss it? Oh, there you go. 1 second. Do you mind if I show it on stream, by the way? I'll go for it. Awesome. So let's go for this. Bear with me with the bars above. Let's look at this. Let's. Is there sound, or can I? Let's try it. Oh, there's sound. Awesome. Oh, that's crisp. I really like the sound. I love that. That was amazing. Well done. Really well done. Was that scene made with all your own made assets, or did you download some assets and use it? My porno can't compare to this. Well, it's not fair to compare your dono with someone who's, I assume, has a lot more experience. If you just started, Rodrigo, then nah, you can't really compare. Free assets, and you really want to get back into it. Yeah, I feel you. There are periods in my life also when I've had to kind of step away from 3D modeling, and like eventually you'll feel like going back to it because it's such a satisfying feeling when you're done with the project, or when you're in the middle of something, you figure out proper look of something. It's really satisfying. So I hope you do find the time and energy to get back into it because that looked amazing. Let's ignore that area for now. Let's focus on this area for a while. One thing we were thinking of was to introduce the pillars. I like the idea from an aesthetic point, but I do feel like there might be some interference gameplay wise, if that makes sense. But either way, we are experimenting, so let's try adding a pillar. And I like the idea of making it. Oh, forgot about that again. Ah, god dang it. So I'm considering a square pillar. Something along these lines. So the game is roughly played from this angle, and it's orthographic, so we don't have any depth to it. Or we do have depth, but it's infinite, so it feels like everything's in the same flat plane. That makes sense. So that's why I'm not completely sold on the idea of having pillars. All right. Shouldn't you block out in engine? I mean, that the way I was taught, you might have a different way. Okay, so we have ads. Let me think about that because, I mean, there's a simple answer to it, really. That is yes and no. Let's get into that a bit more in a second. I usually try, although there aren't as many people right now, but I usually try to wait during ads. Unless it's only us and none of you have ads at the moment, then we could probably get into it. You don't have ads? All right. Well, Jay asked the question, so if he has ads, we might want to wait. You want ads? Well, make sure you don't have turbo then. And also, I don't know, hope, because I don't think everyone gets ads each time. I think that's the only way. You shouldn't sing. These ads are something. They are. You're back. Welcome back. Yeah, we have like 8 seconds left of the ad, so we can wait that long. All right, there we go. So the question was, shouldn't I do the block out in game engine, in the game engine? And the simple question is, the simple answer, should I say, is yes and no. It depends. I feel like I can do a more refined version of the block out in Blender because I can do the assets at the same time, assets I don't have in Unreal. And yes, there are modeling tools in Unreal, but I don't personally like them that much. So I work faster in Blender. And it gives, it's a preference, I guess. I don't see any time saving measures that could be like things I could do in Unreal right now that will save me time. So the simple answer is this is easier for me, but it's personal. Is the answer. Hopefully that answers your question. No, like really super advanced view of it. It's preference. All right. So I'm going to be honest with this pillar stuff. Just a single one makes no sense to me. Let's try something else. What if we do this? Not like that. Get down. Okay, I'm more inclined to accept this rather than the other way around. Then I guess we don't need this one. No, we do it, but we can do it. Well, let's keep it for now. What is this room? Okay, so what we're working on right now, the goal is to create a simple gym layout where we can test gameplay. And what we wanted is a reception desk area. So people enter, we can register them, we can have them pay if they need to pay for membership. And also we have vending machines. So when they leave, we can get some extra cash from them buying whatever we stocked up. And then you have the main area. And this should represent a single tile of the entire game. So from here on, we're going to play some bench presses, some squat racks, whatever you want to think of. But then again, while I'm looking at it, I still feel like 12 by 12, which that's what this surface is too big. I need a water fountain. Oh, I probably do. You're not referring to those fancy water fountains you can find in casinos. You're referring to a single one, like attached to a wall or something. I believe that's what you're referring to. Otherwise, that would be quite fancy, wouldn't it? But that's not a bad idea. We could probably add one right here. Yeah, metallic. You have to have metallic taste. Oh, again. I did the same thing again. Well, they do taste metallic. They're made of metallic stuff and metallic. They're made of metal, not metallic stuff. They're made of metal. They do taste like metal, unfortunately. But then you know it's proper. If it tastes like something else, I will be suspicious. For now, I'm just going to keep it to something simple like this. Let's do the scaling, reset it. Let's do a bevel purely to have some. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's either or. There's no like in between. It would be insane. Oh, you know, I should. Let's do it. Trying to think here. Let's try one more. This is such a bad way of doing it, but it's going to work. That's the main thing. probably a faster way to do this. And of course, if you're at the gym, you would have, it would be clogged up by something inappropriate. Don't worry about the angles. Exactly, I should. But it's not, in this case, it wasn't as much about the angles, more like it was just a tedious process. But yeah, I don't care about angles. It's really no point at this stage. Or honestly, it's rarely I do care about angles nowadays. Usually because when you export something to like Unreal or Unity, it will be automatically, at least Unreal, I don't know about Unity, but Unreal automatically triangulates your mesh. It might mess up your shaders or shading, but who cares? At least in at this stage. Let's just quickly do something that looks like a faucet. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't need to look good. Just needs to be something. And press right buttons. That's good enough, I guess. I mean, that looks like a faucet, doesn't it? All right, that was a really good idea. I like that. So the thing, though, this is a big space. Because if this is going to be like a demo area, there wouldn't be much in the ways of like assets, equipment in the scene. It would be like 5 stuff, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They would take up like roughly this part. You would have like 50% more of the floor space left, and that would be empty. And you need a wall with just mirrors. Yes, I absolutely do. Also, a row of treadmills and bikes, cardio equipment. Yes, exactly. I do have those somewhere. Let's see if we can grab this. Let's go for an import. What we send to Unreal. So it's going to be in content. No, it's not going to be in this content though. It's going to be in this content. So raw content, models, equipment. So like you said, we need a treadmill. Let's start with that. Where are you? Import. We also need, I don't know why I'm moving this thing away all the time. We also need a squat rack. And we also need, where are you? We mentioned a bike. We need a bike. We need this one. And what else do we need? We also need, I believe we need the bench press. Let me confirm that. Yes, we need the bench press. Bench press. And then we need, at some point, some dumbbells. So I need to make a dumbbell shelf. But for now, we can work with these. That's a good start. As you can tell, let's imagine you're limited to at most 2 of each. You can easily get away with just having them in a very small area of the room. And perhaps we want some. Do we want some windows on this one? On this side? That would make sense, wouldn't it? But where would you have? I'm thinking we're going to do it this way. Let's subdiv long flat windows. Yeah, I'm thinking something along those lines too. How high up would the bottom be? It would be roughly waist height, right? And then on this side, duplicate that and scale it in. Something. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Not really. People sometimes sit near windows. True. Like extrude it. Yeah, so I am going to extrude it eventually outwards so we can get the same thickness as this wall. Probably just do it right away so we can see what it looks like. And this part. Come on, can I select it or not? Is it part of it? I don't know what's going on. Oh, for the love of. There you go. Extrude the bottom of the window to act like a bench. Oh, okay. You're like a, what do you call a window sill? Is that what it's called? So I'm thinking we want to do, if we grab, I'm thinking we could do something like this. This is very common at gyms, right? You would have cardio pointing out towards a window. And while we're at it, you know what we should do? I'm going to delete this one. I added it earlier, but we need to make sure we have the proper division. Right, yeah, TVs. That's also the thing, yeah. So that might be something you can upgrade at some points. Right now, I'm trying to keep it on the simple side, but TVs definitely going to be a thing. There were also someone who mentioned what was it? We were talking about this last time. I don't remember right now, but TVs came up. I can't remember. I do not remember. Oh, let me guess. You can't do this because of reasons. Yeah, because of that. Okay. Hello. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. All right. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we're thinking of containing the placement of each asset within a, like, it's, you can only snap it to certain things. So this will be snapped like this, like so. Perhaps this will be something like this. You know what? We could do a quick thing. That's a big one. If we do it this way. I don't know if this makes sense. Or it would be probably all the way over on this side. There you go, TVs. So where would you place the bench press then? Yeah, this is way too big, isn't it? I keep saying that, but I genuinely believe that it's too big. Maybe I should let the others from the team see it first before I do anything. We're gonna add cube. Let's actually make it like so. Like so. Hmm. Ooh, that's a good question. How? Let's make it 4. That means you have to make it 2 by 2. Okay, that makes sense. Same thing with this. It's probably too tall for a mirror. Let's move it up. All right, that's also something we need or at least 1 or 2. I'm not sure what to call them. Exercise chairs. The best I can think of, where you can sit and do dumbbell exercises or whatever you need to. So we need something that represents them, which we can probably just try. Well, it helps to have a storage of assets, so it improves the speed. But yeah, we're making progress. Gym bench, yeah, that's the proper name. Let's do it like this. This is going to be the ugliest gym bench you've ever seen. But imagine this as a representative of what I'm trying to make. And at some point we can make a proper one. Oh, I did actually remove it. That's not what I meant to do. You know what? We can do it this way. This will look more proper. You know, we can do it even better. We can use a modifier. And we can use the solidify modifier. No, we can't do that either. All right, so we need to do scaling, of course. Where are you? Never find these commands. There you go. Nope, that's not the one. This is the one. Oh, come on. I'll be like that. So you are going to be moved to this point, and you are going to be moved. Isolated? No, I don't think I will. I mean, that will make things easier for me, but I'm not here for easy. I'm here for a challenge. And again, these are just representatives, so. All right, so we're starting to take up space. I like that. Still, I don't know what to do with these. Dark Souls music starts playing. I would be concerned if Dark Souls music started playing at my gym. I would, honestly. You know what we should introduce? A good gym has a locker room, right? We need locker rooms. Now we can divide gym areas with more pillars. True. Lock in if it happens. Yeah. Lock in. Start rolling. No, hello, liar. How you doing? Ooh, ventilation. True. Although I don't want to have it in my like my roof, because otherwise I won't be able to see what I'm doing, because this is the angle you're going to play. But now you mention it, Jay, perhaps pillars would be a good like divider somehow. We could also do this. A good gym has weight re-rackers, and this gym should have random weights about. Yes. Agreed. So we need some weight plates, yeah. Agent 258, welcome. Welcome to our little chat and channel. How you doing? Glad you could be here. True, you're on to something here, Jay. We need some plates. I do have plates. I don't have a plate rack, which is on my list to do, but that is something we need, right? I do want to keep it as simple as possible, and right now I'm feeling we're going too far. And that might not make sense, but imagine this. Have you ever played Supermarket Simulator? If you have, what you start with is something really small. So that's kind of my point. Imagine this being your first gym. You can expand it, but you only have access to, let's say, one treadmill, one bike, one seat, and so on, so on. What do you think about metal tasting water in fountains? Like, I think you're the odd one out here, Peserat. It is what it is. Metal water is natural. Would this be top down? Not necessarily top down, but it's a 45-degree angle, isometric. So it's roughly like this, but you would have an isometric view. So I feel the area which I should be working with should probably be nothing bigger than this. Not mobile. We plan to add it, or we want to add to mobile. But right now, it's more of a let's see if we can make it to PC. Let's not complicate things. Our goal is to just make a demo for now. But eventually, we want to expand depending on what response we get. I mean, Metal Water have iron, so would be good for the bones, maybe. I guess. But wait, I need to refresh my memories. Iron and bones, it's not the same, right? It's not iron for bones. It's not a thing. It's calcium. However, iron is needed because it regulates mood, I think, especially in certain people because of lack of blood in the body for some reasons. And it's calcium. You're right. Okay, my bad. Don't worry about it. All right, Oh, you thought it was a font. Yeah, I think Pissed, I might have missed a letter or two. But yeah, that would be cool though. Metal tasting water as a font name. I like that. Oh, Jay, you're speaking my language right now. Okay, so another thing, which I don't think I mentioned earlier. Okay, I'm going to do this. We have a command. So this is an old description of the game. And our goal is to introduce stereotypes. We want the bodybuilders, we want the strongman, we want the everyday normies, the oldies, whatever you want to call them. And each one has their own requirements as to which machines they want to use and exercises they want to use. One thing could be if you want to draw in bodybuilders, you would need a creatine rack or creatine pit, what you want to call it. Road rages, it's part of it. We want to make fun of things, not road rage necessarily, but definitely things like, hey, you have your first no-necker, when the traps get so big that it looks like you have no neck. I need to show you an image. It's probably one of the funnest things I've seen. I'll see if I can find it. Can't spell. Okay, so it's not the image I first thought of. Why? No, I want to open the image. And it's poor quality, but bear with me. All right, so here you go. You can't unsee it once you've seen it. So this is what they mean with huge. Is it delts? No, it's traps, right? Isn't it? The trap muscles, neck muscle. Let's call the neck, because it depths and looks like there is another person inside a bodybuilder. No curse image. Don't worry about this, but you're not going to be able to unsee this. It is traps, right? I was right on the first. So this is why I kind of imagine the idea of you exaggerate that thing and make it really big, and you get an achievement, first no-necker, congratulations. And you will have these quirky pop-ups showing hey, you're achieved this, blah, 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 and so on. Fat suit, muscle suit, same thing. Yeah. Ooh, maybe that should be something we could have to the shop, like a meme, like a Easter egg thing. You can buy a muscle suit. So we have a lot of plans how we want to kind of make the meme of the game going. And this is definitely one of my inspirations when I saw this. So yeah, a lot of these stereotypes. Like we want to, and of course we can't forget, this is also something you need to know about. How many in chat right now knows about Planet Fitness? It is a global, or not global, it's an international, a national gym. I don't know, thing in the US. Muscle exoskeleton suit. You know about that? And Gold Gym. Yeah, oh, Gold Gym. That's also a good stereotype, right? We need to look at that. We should probably have like an Arnold-ish character walk around. No, so if you don't know about Planet Fitness, it's one of the quirkiest gyms out there. It's a franchise, and they focus on people. They don't focus on bodybuilders like most gyms, or on people who wants to grow muscles. Their business idea revolves around people who want to pay for gym memberships but don't go. It's a cult, yes. I'd argue that it's a cult, and they have one of the funniest things. And the first time I heard of this, I couldn't believe it. It's called a lunk alarm. All right. A lunk alarm is a alarm that goes off if you make sound. So imagine you're going all in, you are lifting heavy, and you grunt just once, a small grunt, and all of a sudden the alarm goes off, and you're like, what the F is going on? And of course, that is the lunk alarm that tells you you are working out too hard. Stop. You are making everyone else look bad. That is what it does. And it's the dumbest but funniest things I ever know. And they do have pizza and donut days. Yes. It's so fun. I do almost want to do a react video because it's such a fun. And at the same time, there are a few things I can't really laugh at. People who don't know how to exercise, and they do this really. I mean, to be honest, it is fun watching them, but it's also sad because they don't do exercises correctly, and it looks terrible. But yeah, Planet Fitness, lunk alarms. Oh, there's something about the jug, right? You can't have a too big of a water jug with you. There's a limit to the size. I can't remember why. Someone told me there was a decent reason for it. But at the same time, that makes no sense. What kind of reason do you need to, like, yeah. Jay, you were denied. You can't say that, apparently. Well, I'm going to allow it, but just so you know, that word is actually can become a weapon lawsuits. Yep. There you go. All right, I need to make a decision. Are we going to make the gym smaller, or leave it for now? Go to my team, listen to their opinion, and take it from there. I think the latter is probably the better choice. Which means if I do this, let's remove that. And that's the first gym. You can't have proper EV at your first gym, right? That makes no sense. How about this? I'm going to save this. We're going to save this one. I'm going to make a copy. And call it, oh, there you go. I'm going to call it small. And we're going to actually make this small. Which will mean 2, 4, 6. My head. Is it this part? Is that really a square? 2, 6, 8, 3, not. No, it's not. It needs one more. Which also means these are gone for now. As a first gym, you can't have mirrors. That's my thinking. You're limited to what you can add to your gym. Perhaps you're also limited to windows. You can't have windows. It's just a single, or you can have windows, but it's just a single part. Let's see. If you plan on having tiers for gym, yeah, start with someone's basement. That's not a bad idea. And end with like the most absurd gym where your muscles have muscles. But some broken ass stuff. Yeah, exactly. I think the broken ass stuff is kind of the idea. Perhaps not a basement, although I like the idea. But if you play, like you mentioned, the Supermarket Simulator, you started with a simple, and then you can just extend. You don't move, you just extend your area, right? So we're thinking of going that direction. However, an idea, which is a wish list we have, is to add options to buy more locations. And perhaps that could be something in the future. Pesarad, in my opinion, I think this size is good, but there should be a staircase to the changing rooms, an upper part with more machines, for example, curved machines. Okay, all right. So yes and no. I think that is a later staged type of gym, like a upper tier type. This one should be like the basics of basics. You don't have a locker room. You don't have an upper floor. That's way too expensive. Yeah. But the idea is not bad. I like the idea that perhaps rather than changing location, you can actually extend vertically. I like that. And we might be having ads in a few seconds. Or my streaming bot is way off. I think it's off. I think it's way off. I probably need to absolutely do an overhaul on my streaming bot setup, especially for ads. It's not working at all. All right. We don't have much left of this stream either way, so we'll see. So I'm going to do this. To face, align orientation. It keeps doing that. I don't know why. You're not meant to do that. All right, there we have the ad break. Awesome. Yeah, it's way off. But yeah, it's been amazing. Really fun stream, by the way. And also, thank you again for the follows. It brought us almost to 50 followers, which is amazing. It would have made me affiliate a few months ago, but they lowered that to 25. So I've been affiliate for quite some time. But it's not really game changer, to be honest. I think I made $2 since I started streaming. So yeah, we're getting rich, baby. Yeah, really. Insane. We'll see. It's fun. It's not, I'm not, honestly, although money and monetization is a part of it, because I do want to see if I can make this my full-time work. Mostly I do because it's fun. It is honestly fun. So, and everyone who's here today is just thank you, because it makes things a lot more entertaining for me also if I have people in chat. Because I started this stream like with 0, and although I survived, it's not the same thing. And I'm going to try something new on Saturday, which is my next streaming session. And we can get more into that as soon as the ads are done. Only 14 seconds left. All right, welcome back. I hope there were at least some entertaining ads going. Right. So I mentioned while the ads were going, didn't follow up though, or end the thought. But on Saturday, I'm planning on going for a full day of streaming, which is going to be, I'm going to aim for 12 hours with some breaks. So I'm not really fit anymore. Just do a full 12 hours. This doesn't happen. Oh, you're the customers? So there you go. Yeah. Well, here's what you have. You have a squat rack on top of a bench press and 2 treadmills and 2 bikes. It's all yours. Now, I'm planning on going, returning to World of Warcraft, actually, on Saturday. I want to see if I can make Saturdays like a game day. And Bruce the Fountain. Well, you don't have much choice, do you? So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Other than that, I'm going to return to this thing on Tuesday next week. But for now, I feel like I'm entering the last stretch of this session. Although I should have probably ended the ads earlier. I was kind of dumb not to news it. Oh well. It is what it is. No. What was that? What was that? Oh, all right, I forgot. I forgot. There we go. Now that thing, I'm just going to remove it. Okay, so why are you aligned? Do I need to do rotate line? Base. No, not to individual elements. How about that? I mean, it's not correct, but we can live with it. Oh, the other way. Of course. There you go. Okay, so we're going to delete this and this. And of course, so these are the things we have to work with. And perhaps we should even have this thing. Oh, you're... Wait, what? Did I select the top? I didn't. Also, you probably wouldn't have 2 vending machines to begin with. All right. Let's do last ditched attempt to finish a few of these off. There we go. There we go. And all right. Hello. That is not what I expected. Oh well. Okay, so it's not snapping the way I expect it to. Why? Is it because of that? Oh, it was. All right, there you go. You learn something every day. How wide are you again? You are. Okay, 9. That's not lots. Hmm. Should we do this? All right, let's do something. Probably not the smartest thing I've done, but you are almost 0.5. 0.15. Okay, that makes sense. And this. Yeah, I feel like this is a lot better with the smaller version of the gym. Yep. All right. Let's do it this way. She's almost 10, which is usually where I end streams. Fortunately, I have to work tomorrow, so I need to end it in order to get some sleep. 10 p.m. my time. So thank you, everyone. I really appreciate everyone for showing up, the good advice, the feedback. I have new ideas. I'm inspired. So thank you. And Pesrat or Rodrigo, you're unfortunately going to have metallic tasted water for the rest of your life. That is unfortunately what's going to happen. And everyone else who showed up on YouTube and on Twitch, please thank you for showing up. Do consider giving me a follow. It would mean a lot to me, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube. Same name, by the way, EverkindleStudio. And with that, I'm going to have to say goodbye. And there's a thing we do on Twitch, which is we're going to raid someone. Unless anyone has a recommendation in chat, I'm going to look up someone. See if we can find someone fun. Now you're going to have to deal with it. Let's see. Do we have someone does fun things? I don't know. Let me check again. How about this? As someone who designs a concept for their game, we're going to raid them. And I'm just going to turn off the music temporarily. There we go. And we're going to select them. We're going to start a raid. So if you decide to go over there, please be kind, give them some attention and feedback, and have a good day and good evening. And I hope to see you all next time, which will be on Saturday, a big stream for me. So thank you all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.